Om Shanti.
Dear Sister Moira, can you hear me well?
Yes, very well.
Okay, so let me just welcome you on behalf of our global family to our regular Wednesday evening talks. We are so happy to have you tonight with us. So most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And tonight we have a beautiful talk by Sister Moira. And the topic is the blessings of God, or God's blessings, and which we have been looking for maybe a whole hour journey. So let me introduce Sister Moira first.
There are also flowers that we
Oh,
presented
yes.
to
Oh,
Sister
thank
Moira.
you so much. Thank you so much. We have, yes, I have forgotten. We have beautiful flowers. Welcome flowers from Işıl, Sister Işıl.
Thank you from my heart.
Thank you so much, Işıl. So Moira born and educated in Argentina, and she was a surgical nurse and also studied a museum administration out of her passion for art. When I just hear these words, and I see this beautiful picture behind you, let me ask, is it your art, piece of art? No.
This is a painting by Sister Moira from Spain, actually.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. It's also very beautiful. So at the age of 24, she set out on a 2-year journey, searching for the true meaning of love and higher purpose in life that led her to meet the Brahma Kumaris in 1986, right? 1986 at their headquarters in Mount Abu, India. Since then, her personal practice, experience, and a deep desire to help others led her to cooperate with the establishment of Raja Yoga meditation centers in several countries in South America. She is currently the director of the Brahma Kumari centers in Argentina, and she has been traveling all around the world, running seminars, giving talks, and stress-free living. The topics are stress-free living, overcoming anger and fear, self-esteem, meditation, and other human spiritual development areas to bring change in individuals and organizations in different fields: government, business, health, and education. So as you see, there are many things to tell about dear sister. Moira's passion is to explore the spiritual nature of the self and serve to connect people to themselves and the divine in their need to experience inner peace and happiness. And also very personal thing, Moira is very cheerful and light and lives by the deep conviction that the life is a wonderful game that we play. Love for truth, love for human family, and love for God is her driving force. So I'm sure those words is just a word, but not really tells us that who you are deeply, but we understand that very special child of Baba. So most welcome again, and I would like to leave the words if you don't have anything to add this.
No.
Okay,
Thank
so
you very much.
I would like to thank you on behalf of everyone. So I'll leave the words to you. And then
Thank you.
afterwards, we will see each other again in the question and answer part.
Thanks, Aisagul.
Om
Thank you very much.
Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So Om Shanti, and thanks for this beautiful opportunity of being with the family in Turkey and others from around the world who joined this wonderful space. And this topic, when Yogesh asked me to share about blessings, it took me right back to my Brahmin childhood. And as you were saying, I said, well, everybody in the world is searching for blessings. Children want the parents' blessings. People go to priests or religious people to get blessings. So what is it that blessings have? That's what everybody wants and everybody needs. And when in the beginning of my Brahmin journey, when I came in Madhuban, that itself was a blessing. I really feel that we are, Baba's children are blessed. We're living a blessed life all along, from the very first breath as a Brahmin until the end. And I remember I was so happy. I felt that I had entered a unique place on earth that I had been searching for so much. And we know Madhuban is called the land of blessings. And I remember I took just a couple of lessons, and it was the Golden Jubilee. And there were about 50 daddies those days. They were all there. And the Jubilee celebrations had just finished. And I kind of stepped into that, and that was my Brahmin birth. And I heard the knowledge. I was already listening to 1 or 2, 3 Murlis. And one day we met with Daddy Chandramani. We had a meeting with several daddies all day, you know, because they were there before they left. Everything was kind of concluding. And so we had a little meeting here, a little meeting there. And we were a very small group of double foreigners. This was end of April, beginning of May. And so Daddy asked us, who are you and where do you come from? And we got so used to introducing ourselves with a name and country after that. But at that, we all said who we were. And then she came back to me and she said, and why are you looking so worried? And I said, well, I've just arrived like 3 days ago, and I've already heard that there's very little time to become perfect and the world will be destroyed, and and I want to become like you. And so she kind of spontaneously said, but you are Baba's baby. And I thought, wow. And that was like a blessing, because it released me from so much worry. And I thought, what does it mean? You don't need to worry. You're Baba's baby. And I thought, wow, how amazing. And it just made me so carefree. And I started enjoying, because I was staying with them in Madhuban. So I felt that I could float so freely, and I had nothing to worry about, nothing. And then, that was a very powerful thing that she said. It was just a couple of words, and it made such a difference to me. And then another very important, powerful blessing. Then I realized what these daddies were all about. So a blessing is like this very pure vision someone has for you. So there's someone bestowing a blessing, but there's someone on this side receiving the blessing. So unless we accepted, it wouldn't work. And when she said that, you're Baba's baby, I said, yes, definitely, I'm Baba's baby. So I became so free, so light, and I was able to absorb everything. And another thing that I kept hearing as I walked around, everybody kept telling me, you are such a fortunate soul. And I had never heard this word fortune in this way. And, I knew the word fortune in a very mundane way, maybe referred to wealth or, something social. but the way they were saying, you are a fortunate soul. You're, and they all kept, many different people kept saying this to me, and it just awoke something so deep from within, like a deep sense of worthiness. So being a fortunate soul was something very profound and very great. That I realized the dimension of being. Could you please speak? Oh, slower. Sorry. Yeah, translators. Yes, thank you, thank you. Please remind me on the way. I do get a bit carried away. So I sometimes blessings you don't realize at the time that you receive a blessing, the impact it will have further in your life. And I realized this dimension of fortune was huge. When I left Madhuban, I had only met the BKs there. I didn't know anything about the BKs. So when I left Madhuban, I looked back and I realized, wow, what was that place? You know, what were those people? And so this this sense of fortune became bigger and bigger and bigger. And it has been um, an awareness that I have kept always emerged. I always see myself as a fortunate soul. So Baba says that we have to use blessings at the right time, and we have to. The more we keep the awareness emerged, the more that the power of that blessing will grow in our lives. And I realized that my life became more and more and more fortunate. Then when I went to London, once Daddy invited me to stay with the BKs in London. So I spent about a month there. But I was in this joy of being Baba's baby, and Daddy took me everywhere to share my experience of Madhuban, being born there. But when I left, I went to take leave from Daddy, and I was the baby, but I had only been like a month and 10 days with the BKs. And she looked at me, and in her drishti, there was so much power. And it was in her eyes, the expression of her hand, that energy that came. And she said, "You are a teacher." And I thought I was with another Australian sister. And I said to her, "That's for you. I'm the baby." And so, and she said, "No, that's for you." And so I said, "How can Daddy say I'm a teacher? I didn't even take the course. How can I even teach anything? I don't know anything to teach." So after I left London, I went to Colombia. I went to the coast, and there I met a cousin, and she invited a group of friends, 9 women, to have tea, and they all wanted to learn meditation. So I said, "Well, I don't know how to teach." And so I was carrying these 8-day courses, those little color booklets that we used to have. And they said, "Well, we would like to learn from you." And Daddy's words kept echoing in my mind. "You are a teacher. You are a teacher." And something inside me said, I don't know anything. What can I teach? But then if we accept it, we become. And so I said, "Okay, I'll give you a meditation course, whatever that meant." So these 9 women said, "We want to do the classes, but we don't want," each one had a different time. So I said, "Provided you don't feed me, I just want fruit. Uh, I don't eat anywhere else." And so it was a bit of a UBK in this sense. And so they took me from one place to the other, and I read the little book at night, and the soul, the next day God, the next day karma. And I went from one place to the other, 9 homes, giving this class. But I think that the one that got it must have been the last one. Because but the fact that I accepted what Daddy had said, I became that. And this is the power of blessings, because blessings awaken that latent potential in the soul that is real, that is being seen by a pure vision and a very clean heart. And it is the reflection of this very high vibration that touches the soul and awakens that from within. And so then that will be freely expressed. And but we do need to accept it. I'm sure we have received so many blessings from our seniors, from Baba, but we have not used them. So we still need to become that. I just made a little list of the blessings. I was reading this beautiful book of blessings that Baba has given to all the double foreigners. And these are just the ones that I have personally accepted and the impact that they have created in my life. Baba says, you are Baba's right hand. That I took at heart. And it really made me someone so available, someone who would see a need and just go for it. And I always remember, I'm Baba's right hand. So these very pure words that Baba says and he spoke this to all of us, but we're all different and we all take blessings according to who we are and how we are and where we are at and what we're willing and how open we are. And so there is, on one hand, there is an aspect of worthiness. Baba says that you are worthy of my love. You are worthy of my help. So Baba says something like, you are courageous. And this was, when I met Baba on the second personal meeting, we would sit in front of him to take a blessing. So that was such a, face to face with Bab Dada, he would pierce your heart with his drishti, and then he would say something. And I remember the first blessing Baba gave me was, he said, you are a jewel of contentment. You are the one who remains safe under the canopy of the Father's protection. Are you not? And then he said, or are you the one who loves Baba very much? Something like this. And then, so he would pause, and it was a moment that I had to accept that. And Baba was waiting for an answer. He is seeing me as a jewel of contentment. He is telling me I am protected under the canopy of his protection, of remembrance. And he said, are you not? Or are you the one who loves Baba very dearly? And I thought, at that moment, I thought, well, I'm not such a good yogi. Maybe I'm just the one who loves Baba. And so Baba said, he would always win in this game of giving us blessings. He said, you are the one who loves Baba, and therefore you are always protected under the canopy of Baba's remembrance. And it was embracing, it was like assuring that something that I would not find that easy would become something that would become possible for me. Baba sees me as that one. So this aspect of sometimes blessings, we feel that it reflects something that I already am, and sometimes it's something that I need to become. And I know that we have asked that, maybe I don't identify with what has been, the blessings Daddy used to give us. She used to kind of look at them, and you would say, could she change it for another? And she would just look at it and then looked at us with that vision. And every single card that Daddy gave us was so precious. I mean, they came to her in packs. Someone designed it and made it with so much love. But when that came from Daddy's hand to your hand, it became like a current of power that we would all leave as if we had received something incredibly valuable. So blessings are invaluable. Blessings are this energy that will take me to another level of myself. And we have a right to blessings. You know, when we became 30 years here in Argentina, Sister Mohini offered Bog to Baba and said, what gift would you like to give them? She asked Bab Dada, and Baba said, tell them they have the right to every and any blessing they want. And this is like, owning a treasure box, and you can just take from there and draw whatever you want. And this aspect of, being worthy of Baba's blessings is we have to make effort for whatever we want. And we can only attain so much from our efforts. Our aim is very high, and maybe we can only attain so much. So the rest, Baba will help. And this will come in the form of a blessing. And a blessing is something that it is extra power that if I take it, then I will be able to progress, I will be able to move forward without, sorry, I'm getting a little bit cold here, without having to make much effort. This is the gift. The gift of a blessing is, what would be the difference from, attaining something through my own efforts and attaining it from a blessing? It's something that, if we, and it is very much a way in which we can claim our inheritance. So Baba blesses us every day. And I remember when we had these personal blessings, then that was discontinued. Then Baba continued to meet us as countries. Then he kept meeting us as regions. And then this was stopped. And we come all together in Shantivan. And so we asked, why don't we have these personal meetings anymore? And of course, the obvious was the family has grown and time constrained, and then also daddy's health at some point. But basically, because Baba said the whole Murli is a blessing. We are blessed by every single word that Baba says if we take it at heart. And so one of the qualities that make us worthy of this extra help that we can attain without having to labor or even do much effort is being obedient. Obedience is a gateway to blessings. Baba, because someone who is obedient is really taking Baba's hand of Srimad and is really following the steps with a very honest heart. And so the reward of this obedience is that we get extra blessings. And I remember once our very dear brother Jagdish, he said something that really was quite amazing. He said that, someone asked Bab Dada, well, all those who were born as Brahmins after Sakar Baba left are in disadvantage in a way because they didn't meet the Sakar form. And although we are the children of an angel, Baba, which means we have a connection with Brahma Baba anyway, Baba said, but they have an advantage because they didn't meet the Sakar form, they didn't live with Mama and Baba, but they will get blessings. So our efforts will need to reach to some point, and the rest is guaranteed that we will reach our 100% from Baba's blessings. So this is our gift to all of us. But it's like the I think it was like 75% or something like this will be like our 100% of efforts, because the rest will be a gift from Baba. And this kind of makes it even between those who came after and those who came before. So this is something very, very interesting to know, because sometimes even now now, if you listen to Avyakti Parivars, it is such a blessing to have this refined nourishment from Mohini Ben's experience, from the stories of the daddies, from this drop we get every day from Babdada. Every single aspect is blessing us. It's a gift to the soul. But we can't just, if you're given a gift, you can't keep it wrapped there and be happy because you got a gift. We have to use it. We have to think further. This is why Mohini Ben is insisting so much in us practicing, in us applying, in us. Baba was saying in the Sunday Murli is remaining aware, being aware, have this awareness emerge constantly. So a blessing takes us to that level of awareness that we need to maintain there. So it is like a push. It is like a gift that will get me going in a higher direction, but I need to take it from there and make those thoughts my thoughts and go deeper and further. And we don't get one blessing, we get so many blessings. I just want to read a little list that I made of things that Baba has said to the double foreigners. There's a full book, actually, but I just took these. He said, "You are the light of Baba's eyes." How do we feel when Baba says, "You are the light of Baba's eyes"? Am I accepting this from a deep sense of self-respect? Baba is reassuring. He's not asking us. You are very open-hearted. And this is something he has specially said to double foreigners. It's always a blessing we used to get when Baba used to get all double foreigners stand up and he would shower his blessings on us. He would always say, double foreigners have an honest heart. And I'm sure that we have all taken that at heart, and that has made us very open, very honest. So he said, you are the ones that can come to the seniors. We used to come to daddies, and now we would go to other seniors and really speak our heart very honestly. And Baba used to say, double foreigners don't hide things from seniors or from Baba. And this is, so when Baba gives us the blessing, it's as if that makes us even more honest, because we know Baba appreciates that and allows us to see the value of me being honest and taking that further, being just one, being authentic, being open. So that's it. And then he says, love is your ticket to Madhuban. And I know so many stories of souls who had no money, literally no money, to come to Madhuban. I remember when the Russians, first Russians used to come to Madhuban. We were so happy that the Russians, after Perestroika, were appearing in Madhuban. And I remember we were told a story. They seemed to be many were elder people. I think later on we saw many young ones, and now we see so many. So the Russian family is so huge. But I remember them telling us that they were very poor. And so they had earned the money to buy the ticket for Madhuban, selling roses at the railway station. And when we hear these stories, and these were these old little ladies that came from Russia, and it just melts your heart to think that, selling roses. But it was, so when Baba says, love is your ticket to Madhuban, it's not about money, it's about love. So he brings us into a whole different dimension of understanding how a blessing makes the impossible possible. So a blessing is like the invisible currency that awakens, and there is a magic in blessing. I have seen in Latin America some of our brothers and sisters, even myself, having a hard time to earn money to go to Madhuban. But if we have full faith that it is love going to take me there, somehow that just creates the money. So blessings are like a world. There's a world within each blessing that we need to unfold and discover. Another blessing that I really like is you are spiritual flowers of God's garden. And I love it when he talks about him being the gardener. We are the either roses or jasmines, and he says you're not flowers. So he said you decide what flower you are, and it's such a beautiful image. It brings this awareness of the fragrance of our qualities. It brings the awareness of the beauty that lies within, that he is obviously seeing. I may not be seeing, but when his eyes set on me, then I am able to see it, and that is expressed in a free way. Then he says, you have made God your dearest friend. And the first Avyakt Murli that I heard from Dada, I was only about a year old, less, I think 6 months, because it was March 87. And I was sitting there, I was so madly in love with Baba. And so Baba said, foreigners they have made Baba their companion, their friend, and they like to walk with their friend in the garden. They like to go to the beach with their friend. And I felt, like it made alive that God himself was my friend. So that is the gift. But then am I God's friend? So that blessing should make me his friend, should awaken that loyalty, that equality, that sincerity, that brings friends together. So Baba is our friend. And he says, you are victorious. And these 3 words, they blow our mind. Maybe we have to go through something difficult. Maybe we're having a hard time with ourselves, especially through this pandemia that so much has come up. And we may be at some moments very weak, even doubting. Sometimes when you listen to Avyakti Parivar, it's like such a high level of practice and such a refined understanding. You may think, oh my God, this is all too much for me. And yet Baba says, you are a victorious jewel. So if I can accept that, then I can, let go of Avyakti Parivar, let go of everything, and just sit with your blessing. What is Baba seeing in me? What is my real strength? So that will trigger and open up a new understanding of myself. And Baba keeps taking us higher and higher and higher. So it's blessing upon blessing. Then he says, God himself has made your fortune. And this is something I have already said about that. I really feel that my life is just, everything is fortunate about me. Everything is fortune. And here I also want to, there are others, but I wanted to, and this is one I really love. This is also from my childhood. The Father searched for you elevated souls. In that very Murli that Baba, my first Murli, Baba said, I have looked for you everywhere in the world, and I have even found you in Argentina. And I nearly jumped off my seat. I asked the person beside me, did you hear that? And he said, yes. I think it was the only time Baba mentioned Argentina in a Murli. I was blown out of my seat, and I thought, how amazing. So if we think deeply, Baba many times says, you have found Baba because you were seekers, you were devotees, you were bhagats. you were searching for me, but you only found me because I went out there to look for you. So what happens in our hearts when we hear these words from Baba? You know? So, and then a blessing that Baba gave us, but also Daddy Ji used to always give us this blessing. You are a special gift to the Madhuban family. And Daddy Ji used to say, you are the decoration of Madhuban. So it used to make us feel so worthy, so cared for, so loved. So this is, and it was such an amazing, when I was born, Daddy Janki set me off from Madhuban saying, you are a resident of Madhuban. And so, with her finger, she said, you never forget that. And, even if I'm in Argentina, even if I was in Chile, wherever I was that Baba sent me, I always think that I'm a Madhuban Nivasi. And then Baba also said, you're all Madhuban Nivasis as well. But this is something that gave me a deep sense of worthiness of my right to Madhuban. And I have never ever felt that, this year I won't go to Madhuban. How dare I? I'm a Madhuban resident, so I should always want to go to Madhuban, even now. In fact, I'm planning to go to Madhuban, I think at the end of February. So nothing, a blessing clears our way in such a way that nothing can stop us. So with blessings, we overcome obstacles. And maybe we find that something is kind of too big for me, but if we take the power of a blessing, it makes us humble, we're open to learn, and we're open to receive Baba's help. Sometimes, we become too self-centered and we try to sort ourselves out. And Baba says, here I am, my drishti is a blessing to you. The Murli is a blessing to you. This Brahmin family is a blessing to us. Baba makes us aware of the blessing of time. This time is a blessed time. Every moment of the confluence age is blessed. So every, blessing means a lot of attainments and not so much effort. One thing I would like to tell you is the blessings of the Brahmin family work magic in our lives. And we know that when people are going through sicknesses, blessings uplift souls and make the experience that could be painful and difficult, it makes it easy. And we know that when like the daddies were in hospital, there was this kind of collective, it was a campaign of good wishes and blessings from all the family, showering this pure energy, pure thoughts, pure feelings, good wishes of the family, and they were uplifted. And even if, maybe the sickness would progress until the point they even left us, but the experience of the soul on a cushion of blessings of the whole family makes it so easy, so loving. And I want to tell you that last year, my dad passed away and he was 93. And so when I shared with some of my friends and members of the Brahmin family, especially all the Latino family and all my family in Argentina, that he had passed away, I had an amazing experience of this flow of blessings and good wishes coming from the Brahmin family. It was so amazing. The experience that I had was that he was leaving his body and the Brahmin's energy, like a cradle of angels, were carrying the soul to its next body. It was like, how I sensed it, it was like white light, like this, in a spiral around that soul, taking that soul very safely to its next body. And I was so touched. It was so vivid. I was receiving these WhatsApp messages from all over, like with good wishes for the soul. And I was thinking, how amazing. Because the Brahmins know me, but those blessings are going to him. And it just made me feel so happy that he was so safe. And of course, I couldn't say much to my Lokik family, but I can tell you that, and it also uplifted me. I was very clear. I never shed a tear because my dad left. I was in no sorrow at all. But the Baba's children's blessings became, it was like extra energy around me. And I know that was going to my family, whatever they were going through. So when we collectively have this wave of good wishes, now, for example, there's a catastrophe in Ecuador. And so there's this mud, mud flowing all around the cities. And so we are collectively showering blessings upon those souls. And they don't even know where that's coming from, but it is definitely bringing peace, love, and it is comforting their hearts. They are so afraid. And so this is the we are the children of the bestower of blessings, and we are bestowers of blessings. And also the last thing I want to share with you is that a blessing is a gift when storms come. And storms themselves can be a blessing. And here I want to share a moment. It was a difficult moment of my Brahmin life, in which I was transiting a lot of opposition in Argentina. And there was a lot of defamation of me. And so, a letter was written to Daddy and so on. And so a letter of complaint. And I guess some things they were right, and some things it was just a projection of the one in front, I guess, as it always many times is. And so I went to Daddy and I said, Daddy, I'm aware that you have received this complaint from me. And Daddy looked at me and she said, this is university. You just take tests and then come back. And she my face like this. And I thought, wow, it was such a blessing. And then I went to Sister Mohini and I said, Sister Mohini, I know you have received this letter of complaint. And so she said, we trust your honesty. That was it was so empowering that when I traveled back to Argentina, and then the third one, I went to Rameshbai because it was something to do with accounting. There had been a mistake that we made in Argentina, and that created a problem with the government. And so I went to Rameshbai, a very senior brother, I guess you all know, but just in case someone new, who used to do with accounts. And so I explained to him what had happened, and I explained, what was going on. And he said, Sister, you're so cool. And he said, this yagya is founded on the basis of faith, and we have full faith in you. And it was like it was as if I was not even walking when I left from him. All my worry, all my heaviness just disappeared. And then when I came back to Argentina, I had to face the family, and we had a forum in which many negative things were said. And Mohini Ben, just before that meeting, said, we were in a call with Ken. We were together with Ken there. Ken came to help. And Mohini Ben said, Moira, everything will be okay. And just those words. So it made me feel so safe. I was going to face something which was very unpleasant, but it made me feel that everything was okay. And when I walked into the room and all the people were there complaining, all Baba's children, there was a big riot. There was like a parallel group, kind of very in opposition, things that do happen everywhere, I guess. And when I sat down, I was seeing them, but in front of me were the eyes of Dadi, Mohini Ben, and Ramesh. Their eyes became like a shield of protection, and their words echoed in my mind, in my heart, and I felt completely protected. So when storms come, when difficulties come, they also bring the gift of blessings. So no matter what you're going through, be aware of the blessing of the situation that will give you an experience that will take you to a completely different level. And just to finish, the gift of that storm became a blessing for me because I realized that, the complaint was someone was saying, why doesn't she go to some other country? So I thought, what would happen if I left, if I don't do what I'm doing, I'm not the NC, let's say, of Argentina, and I realized that I would be doing the same thing. And the blessing was that I had the realization that the role is not the part that I play, that I would shine the light that I am in whatever any other role. And that freed me from this role consciousness. And I really feel that any difficult situation that we overcome will have the gift of a blessing. So I will leave it here and back to you. If there's
Oh,
any
dear,
questions.
dear Moira, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I just listened to it like really showering all the Baba's blessings on us. Thank you so much. And I'm sure everybody felt the same as me. And just let me ask all the participants if you have any questions for Moira. It's a big opportunity. If you like, you can just share in the chat box and I'll try to read it for her. Make it easier, maybe. Yeah. I don't see any questions, but maybe I can just bring up some one. Still, you are thinking about it. You said Baba has given you beautiful blessings, and he also does that for all of us. And I really love it. Baba's movies is a blessing. Baba's each word is a blessing for us. I think this whole life is a blessings for us. But when you have, like Baba says, you are the jewel of contentment and you are safe under the canopy of Baba's remembrance. Beautiful blessing. But how do you apply to yourself? I understand first to accept it, of course, but then how do you make it to be? What is the process to do that?
Right. Yeah. When I received that blessing, I was so happy. I was in a glow. But then it took me a long time to realize that what it meant to be a jewel of contentment. Because during my Brahmin childhood, of course, childhood is really a very powerful time on our journey. But then I went through hard moments and different conflicts with different people, with myself. And so I was not content. So sometimes I used to think, how can Baba say I'm a jewel of contentment if I'm really not content? But this is Baba seeing my potential, my capacity of moving forward. And by remembering the vision he has of me, it will pull me through and it will allow me to see that which is within me, but maybe I have not accepted from myself yet. And this Baba saying, you are protected under the canopy of Baba's remembrance has always echoed in my mind, because I used to always think like there's a stereotype of yogi souls who are very kind of sitting and very cool and very quiet and very, they can spend hours in yoga. And I'm not that type. I'm an action-oriented person. And I always used to feel that I used to identify with Sister Genti, someone who's moving around now and I see her as a great yogi soul, but like someone very, very active. And so I struggled with this kind of stereotype, like I'm not this, but I'm like this. And, what does it mean to be a yogi? What does it mean? And this, you are protected under the canopy of Baba's remembrance. Baba was seeing that I remember him, I relate to him, I do for him, I am for him. And this doesn't mean that there's a huge margin for me to progress, to practice, to embody, to emerge, and in terms of my own yoga practice. But that blessing would travel with me, reassuring me that I am a yogi soul, and not, to move me out of this very easy identity of being a doer. So Baba says things to us at a time when, and maybe we accumulate blessings. And sometimes when we go through difficult moments, those accumulated blessings will help us go through. Another thing is like how to multiply the blessings. We need to keep giving blessings. The more we give blessings, and it may be a vision, like that vision Baba holds of me. If I hold that vision of others, sometimes people don't say a word, but the way they look at you could bless you, because it's the vision of hope, it's the vision of respect and appreciation. So the more we use Baba's blessing, the more we also offer blessings to others, the more they grow.
Thank you so much. And I think this also answers the one question Neshe was asking, but it seems like you have already replied that. How to accept a blessing, although you mentioned a little bit, how do you do it? And I think you have already talked about that. So let me see another question we have. I think this is in your language, so you can read better than me.
Let me see.
Yes.
I'm not seeing the chat.
Can you just look at the chat box?
Yes, give me one sec.
Margaret
Okay,
is writing.
Moira, okay, Margarita from Mexico. Moira, Baba found me, and I'm very happy. According to your experience, at what moment would I know what is my mission in life, what I was prepared for? Wait a minute, I'm just trying to translate this. What I was prepared for in my Locket life, could it be useful in my on my Brahmin path? Yeah, definitely. Baba found you, Margarita, and Baba will reveal to each one of us the elevated part that we play, but he will give that space. We need to discover who we are. Baba reflects who we are all the time, and what would be, what is our highest purpose. And the way he encourages us to discover the purpose is also using our specialities. So Baba teaches us to identify specialities in the self. And the speciality is a gift from Baba. It's not something we can be just proud of, saying, I'm good at this, so this is me. It's a gift from Baba. Once I received a very beautiful explanation of what a speciality is. It's what you liked most in God, that you absorbed the most. So that became your gift. And some souls are very naturally loving. Some souls are naturally very clear. And we don't only have one, but if we look at our specialities, we will know what it is that we're here for, because this is the gift we are. We are here to shine that light, and that will reflect the light coming from Baba. So I don't know in terms of a moment, but I think it is something that gradually we accept that this is what makes me unique. And Baba says, I chose you because of your speciality. So this is something we need. It's a game that we play that we have to discover that as well. Baba will show us, but we also need to want to know who I am, really.
Yes, yes, definitely. But just the question comes to my mind. Baba showers us with these beautiful blessings, but sometimes we feel, sorry, I'm not worthy enough for that blessings. Am I really deserve this or not? So, what would you, advise us? How can we accept it, and how can we develop that I will be what Baba sees me with his eyes? How can I see myself with his eyes?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful question, and it takes me to an experience I had in Chile. A time it was very difficult there as well. And I once sat, I was being criticized a lot. And so I sat in front in Baba's in the classroom, and I sat on the floor. We had no chairs. And so I looked at Baba's point of light and I said, Baba, if I am of any value to you, please show me. Because I felt I, I had no self, I had no dignity, and I had lost my own self-worth, my self-respect. And so I sat there in silence with Baba, and and I was showered in this amazing light and power, like, and I got this feeling that Baba, I was very dear to Baba, and that Baba was holding me very close. And I think this feeling it could be a storm, when we don't feel worthy of something. So it is a chance to come to Baba and have a very true, honest conversation with Baba. Maybe I don't practice enough. Maybe I don't talk to Baba enough, because if we want to know, you know, mm, of my own worthiness, Baba is there. Baba is right there for me. So it's just about, Baba gives us another beautiful blessing. He says, a step of courage from the child will get multi-million folds from the help from the Father. And sometimes we are holding on to an old image. We are so much in manmat, or, when we are hurt, like I was, it was because I was under the influence of parmat. I had completely lost, connection with who am I to Baba? And then I will become that to others. But it starts with, coming back home to his pure vision that will connect me to a pure vision of myself. We need to heal. And it is Baba's love that will do that healing for us.
Yes, definitely. So Baba's love is everything for us. The power, the courage, the blessings. And I love this, Baba's love is a ticket to Madhuban. It's a beautiful, beautiful blessing. I think we don't have any more questions, and my questions are also finished. And I think we come to the end of the time. Maybe some last words. Would you like to share with us any blessings for the family?
Well, what can I say? I think you are the ones that the world is hoping to see, to feel close. So may we step into that very, very high vision of ourselves. We have Baba, we know Baba. Now the whole world wants to have us, because it is through us that Baba will be revealed. And we were reading something this morning that Baba Baba has to be revealed with his children. So we now need to accept that we need to become equal to him. So the world wants to see us as those flying angels, and this is the time. This is the time. We are being invoked. So may you all step into those wings of your own beauty.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think this 1 hour was just the whole 1 hour is a blessing for us. And I felt that it empowers us, gives a lot of inspiration and also joy and faith. You know, when you hear someone has gone through this journey, you have the strong faith that if she has done it, I can do it as well. So Baba has a big, great faith in us. Thank you so much. I would like to really thank on behalf of our family once again. It was a great, great honor to host you tonight. And a lot of love to the whole family in Argentina. And thank you so much. Now we have a word meditation to shower our blessings to the whole world and just to support the work for healing. So if you like, you can join us, or maybe it's your, I don't know how the time is there in Argentina, but it's up to you. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you. And all my love to the lovely, lovely family in Turkey. I love my time with you there. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Can we Drishti 2 minutes, please?
Yes. Okay, just 2 minutes, Drishti. And then whenever you just finished, we can just start with the meditation.